Hi, my name is Grania Poppin. I am an AI market lead at Fledger, and I am a co-host of AI Insights, here to welcome you to this week's AI news with my co-host.
Hey everyone, I'm Fleur Prince. I'm your co-host. I am an AI tech community manager, and I'm looking so much forward to tell you guys about what happened this week in AI because, of course, a lot has happened, and we are here for the drama. So, what are we going to talk about? This week, we're going to talk about the Google AI innovations that happened in February. Just a short recap because a lot has been released by them. Also, about AI-driven IT consolidation, AI in news media, Google's AI mode for search, but also the AI infrastructure that's forming in cybersecurity. And so much more technologies that have just come out, and we want to inform you all about it. So, Graham, I don't know if you already saw this, but Google went full blast in February. I was just shocked.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot. They definitely are putting like more money and like talent and resources into AI innovation. I think especially like in light of what occurred with DeepSeek, they're trying to reestablish themselves as like emerging players in the AI field.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that explains like the extreme amount of development.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing it also. Like when you look at the stock market right now, you can see it completely crash when it comes to the AI field.
Mhm.
And everybody pretty much reevaluating how much money do we actually need to invest in AI to make sure that it keeps working. Because indeed, DeepSeek showed you don't actually need the most advanced AI chips just to run a simple model. But that didn't stop Google of releasing their newest AI tools. I mean, did you check out already Gemini 2.0?
No, I haven't, but I do have Gemini Premium through my company, so I probably should be looking towards it.
I saw it's now widely available, like to businesses, developers, and individual users. But what's interesting is that it actually it offers like enhanced language understanding and generation capabilities, which pretty surprised me since in the previous version that was not really a possibility, or at least it didn't work
Mhm.
that well.
Yeah, and I saw that they created a career dreamer, which is really interesting for university students, an AI tool that analyzes skills and interests to suggest personalized career paths. So that's really interesting. There's
Yeah.
actually somebody that I know in university who was in computer science, and
Hmm.
when I saw him most recently, he told me that his new dream is to become a rancher. So he's actually taking horse in Canada. Yeah, so
Okay.
he's taking horseback riding classes right now, and he's going to drop out of computer science. Yeah, so maybe this would help guide people on their path so they can, realize what they actually want to do as opposed to computer science or whatever else.
I'm definitely gonna try this tool now. I'm very curious about it.
Yeah,
If you
about
go
what it
from
would
computer
suggest.
science to like indeed a rancher, that's in quite a leap into a different direction.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
But we also saw them coming out with a new AI coding assistant as well. That's is a free tool for developers offering AI assisted coding and code review.
Hmm.
To me, it really much looked like a replica. How do you call it? Yeah, another version of Cursor AI or a Replit agent. But like, I'm very curious to try it out myself. See a bit more if it compares to that because right now I kind of felt like I was looking at a copy version of Replit.
Yeah, coding is getting, I mean, on the topic of computer science as a major, like I almost think that it's going to become obsolete because coding is becoming more and more and more increasingly AI driven.
Yeah, and what I think most people, so I actually had a few discussions about this as well, like is coding still necessary? And I say it still is because you do need people to be able to debug the code. Because AI is good, but it's not that good yet. It can provide a code, but only to a certain level. I mean, as
Yeah.
I know a lot of senior developers that are like, yeah, I can now instead of hire 5 juniors, I can just use AI agent or indeed like one of these tools that Google or Replit released. But I was like, yeah, but how much time are you spending on debugging that code, which you could have
Yeah.
juniors do for you if you had hired them?
Yeah, that's true. And then I think there's also an aspect of like creativity, and that's kind of lost when you're having like all AI generated code.
And true. Oh, what also is cool that came out was the VO2 model.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw this yet, but this is integrated into YouTube Shorts, which is allowing creators to generate AI backgrounds and clips from text prompts.
Mm-hmm.
I think also on LinkedIn we showed how how it was able to make a video about ancient Rome, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool, actually. And then something that I took note of, so I'm not really on YouTube Shorts. I've never really watched it. I'm not even actually really on YouTube. But something that I do use a lot is Gemini, and they just created a deep research feature for comprehensive inquiries and reports. So that's really interesting.
How do you find that right now, the deep research? Is it helping? Because yeah, you're still in college, so you might be a better person to ask this.
Yeah, there's so many different, that's the thing, there's so many different research tools, like AI research tools out there now that you're kind of almost like inundated with all these different like services. It's hard to tell like which one is like the right one or which one is the best. Another huge one that's come out recently is U.com.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of U.com?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so it's more popular in America. I think it's like less, like just like less known over in Europe, but
Mm-hmm.
it's this really, really, really good researching assistant. It's kind of it's more than that, but I think like the primary selling point is research. And one of my friends works for them, so I've heard a lot about it through her, and I've used it because of her.
I see. Yeah, because for me, like when I was back in college, you had to like keep to the APA 7th edition when like writing down resources, stuff like that. I'm just very curious to see if deep research is able to do that as well when it comes to these kind of rules.
Probably.
Definitely something to think about. So the final thing that I saw was the flood hub enhancements. God, this is so much difficult to say. Where they showed new features like inundation, history maps, and basin views to improve flood forecasting and response. Yeah, since we know back when I forgot what the name was of that hurricane, but when Google helps emergency services get from one place to another, simply because they showed like, hey, here is most likely going to be the next flood. So I think that's definitely something for people just in general to keep an eye out on the Flood Hub and see what they're going to be building more around this. Because I think it's going to help a lot when it comes to natural disasters and being more ready if you know where you have to be as an emergency service.
Yeah, that is really interesting. It also shows how like AI is really becoming integrated with like climate change response and like other disciplines, like we mentioned in our last episode.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, moving on to our next topic actually is the AI-driven IT consolidation. Because I don't know if you've seen it, but like right now, 90% of IT professionals identify software consolidation as a priority for 2025. I found this very interesting because this has not been a priority in the past. But now with AI showing up, you see also the IT industry itself changing.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were just saying about like how coding is changing. I think kind of every single company is going to be faced with like some sort of change to their business model and, just like their IT, consortium. What's the word?
Mhm.
Consortium. But
Yeah,
just that there's going to be a lot of changes. It's kind of unavoidable.
yeah. Also, 73% predict their organizations will continue to grow software investments and add new technologies, according to Cloud Data Insights.
Hmm.
But also that AI is going to be a major catalyst for IT consolidation because AI models require high quality, accurate data from consolidated sources.
Hmm.
But also the urgency for consolidation is spreading across businesses where 48% of IT departments, 38% of executives, and 28% of board of directors are supporting it.
Wow, interesting. That's like really big margins of approval. What country is that?
According to Cloud Data Insights, they're not specifically saying this in the article, so I cannot confirm that right now where that would be. I would say this is, wait, no, I found it. It says it's mostly US based compared to their numbers.
Okay, that would make sense. I feel like the numbers in Europe would be a little bit different.
Oh, that's maybe something for us to find out. We can talk about it in our next episode.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for like Ireland and like the Netherlands, I feel like the rates of like AI usage are a lot different, a lot lower. But in America, I would
Mhm.
say like it's probably the approval is probably like through the roof.
I think Europe is actually catching up when it
Hmm.
comes to AI transformation and getting it more into businesses. But I think it's not being held back per se, but more when it comes to here, we're really thinking more about the ethical perspective on it. So how can we responsibly use AI that it also adheres to the privacy laws and everything as well? Since that's a big on the top of the list when it comes to anything when it's shared with data.
Yeah, completely.
By the way, also AI in news media. I think this is also a good item. It doesn't have per se to do anything with tools. Actually, it does actually have to do everything with tools with the rise of Perplexity, because they're also coming out now with their own browser, which is called, it's not Cursor, but it has another name.
Wow, that's really interesting. I actually had no idea. That's like such a precedent, an AI service coming out with a browser. That really is like a kind of an indication that, AI kind of these companies are going to look towards building more infrastructure and keeping people within like an ecosystem that's under one brand. Like, for example, you know how Google has like a million different products all over the digital, spheres. Like, really anything you want with the word digital in front of it, you can have a Google version of it. I think maybe like in the future that it could be something similar to that with AI products because they're looking for that kind of market capture.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, especially with Perplexity, because most people already use it as a search browser instead of going to Google, where you get like random answers and you have to find it yourself. Here it just shows like, here's the answer. All your problems are solved. Oh, what was it? Right, I remember the name now. It's because it's very similar to a game that I play and I will preach this until eternity, which is called Baldur's Gate 3. And there they talk about a character called the Prince of the Comets, and it's called Comet. So that was how I remember it.
Wow.
So it's called Comet, by the way. If anyone's interested, you can sign up for early access if you want to.
Wow.
Well, they also have this business fellowship that they're also currently, I think that people can currently still sign up for.
Really? Business fellowship? What's that about?
So when they announced it, they're going to give people who are business leaders or who have working in a mid-sized company with a meteor management level are able to join. So you get like a, how do you call it? Fireside chat, a mix of fireside chats with all these awesome AI leaders you can follow and listen to and just gain more knowledge when it comes to AI and how to also implement it into your business.
Well,
of course, I signed up, but I'm curious to see if they will let me in.
All right. Well, I actually just signed up just on the topic of signing up, I just signed up for this AI program in Galway. Like this like AI Summit Coalition. There's so many different programs like that cropping up these days.
Yeah, the thing what I always say when you do see these kind of things pop up is also to make sure that the organizations are legit. And that it doesn't sound random people are saying, I'm not an AI expert. And then you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But by the way, back on the topic of AI in news media, actually, so because of these tools that are actually popping up, since we're talking about it, we're actually seeing that 70% of news organizations, according to Press Gazette, are actually worried about the possible decline in referral traffic from search engines due to these AI tools, since they pretty much give you directly the answer instead of you having to search through all different kind of websites.
It also really, kind of removes ad time. So you would formerly have, like, say you need an answer to something, you'd scroll through a Medium article and there'd be like, say, like 12 ads, including one pop-up ad on the Medium article. And that website is generating so much revenue. Now, you can I ask all my questions to ChatGPT. I do not bother with Google.
No, exactly. Because, like, why do you would want ads to just pop up every time you search for stuff?
Yeah.
But also because of that, you see newsrooms are actually exploring AI initiatives like text-to-audio tools, summarization tools, translation, and even chatbots to use instead of how they do traditional news. But also 90% of respondents actually said at the Press Gazette when they were doing their survey that back-end automation like tagging and transcription would be an important use of AI in 2025.
Crazy.
And they also plan to use AI to improve personalization and recommendation when it comes to news. Since, users want a more personal touch when it comes to what they're interested in.
Oh. Yeah, that is really interesting. I mean, I talk about this a lot in my classes. how AI and kind of the internet as it currently stands really affects media dominance, and it goes deeper than affecting media dominance, like just that there's no other avenue for, news to be promulgated except for social media and like AI kind of like in my classes we're discussing that like AI and social media are like the main conduits of news nowadays. For example, my best friend has like an Echo Cloud in
Mm-hmm.
her room, and she uses the Echo Cloud every morning to tell her the news, and it's like an AI program within the Echo Cloud that does the news. So
Wait,
AI is
it's
kind
called
of,
Echo Cloud?
yeah, Echo Cloud. It's like this. It's here. Wait. It's called like Amazon Echo Cloud. Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like, hey Siri, blah 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 blah. It's like that type of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, so you pretty much just talk to it and then it tells you what you want to know.
Yeah.
I would just use my phone and just open
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
I'm excited. She just bought. Oh, it's called Amazon. It's called Echo Dot.
Good. Okay. I'll look it up. It sounds cool.
Hmm.
Though I just use my phone to be honest.
Yeah. No, I want to use my phone as well. What I'm excited for, because she just got me one, is I'm excited to use it for like an alarm.
That would actually be handy, yeah. I still live with my phone next to my bed, even though I know there's radiation and
Yeah.
stuff.
I
But I
also
just leave
live
my
with,
phone next to my bed.
yeah, I live with my phone next to my bed too, but the like no matter how close it is or how loud the alarm is, like I never wake up. So if I have two different devices with an alarm, I feel like that'll like do
Mm-hmm.
wonders for me.
Yeah, I'm actually curious because actually yesterday, so I did an interview with Uvika, which I will tell you more about after the recording, but we actually also talked about screens probably slowly disappearing as well. And
Well,
people just wearing AI. So like, do you know there's wearable tech?
yeah, yeah, I do know wearable
But then
tech.
have it the AI agent in it. So for example, like the Rabbit that came out last year, where you have an AI agent just perform tasks, so you're just talking to it instead of, well, looking at a screen.
Crazy. Well, one of my friends made the joke literally just this morning that there's going to be like the next new thing is going to be AI socks, socks with AI in them,
Yeah,
so you can talk to the socks and yeah. But I mean that's maybe not too far off from the truth anymore.
I will. Okay, so I actually have a hat somewhere here that actually has Bluetooth in it and
Seriously?
headphones in it. So you can wear it as a
Ridiculous.
hat,
Did you get that
and
for free? Did you buy that?
I actually bought it
Wow.
because it actually looked amazing, and it is amazing. But you can only wear it in the winter, and apparently the weather is not as winterish anymore in the Netherlands. So,
That's crazy. Actually, today we had like spring breakthrough as well.
dang. So you guys are also already in the 10 degrees.
Yeah, we're getting pretty warm over here. Not too warm, and honestly, like it's Ireland, so it'll probably go back to freezing for like a few weeks anyway. But yeah, it's been really nice. The last like 2 days have been really nice. We had 10 days with no sun though in a row. Can you believe that?
Ooh, that sounds like the best weather ever. Yeah, we're having sun here right now.
Hmm.
Oh, by the way, actually good points for us to also move to our next topic, which is actually back to Google. Because Lumar actually cited this in their article on their website, is that Google's actually internally testing a new AI mode for their search engine. So they're actually coming up with even more stuff.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's like designed to handle, well, pretty much actually what we were just talking about. So wearable tech where you handle open-ended queries in greater detail.
Hmm.
And also, it uses a custom version of Gemini 2 that allows for interactions similar to like AI chatbots, but with information typically presented in heading and bullet points.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we were talking about how like Google search is becoming obsolete. It might become like forcefully obsolete by being replaced by the organizations themselves. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think they're really in a competition when it comes to with Perplexity, and if they're now coming out with Comet.
Yeah. I would love to see like approval ratings or popularity ratings per country for different AI models because I know that U.com is actually really gathering popularity over in America, but it's really not heard about here. I wonder if there's like different models in Europe that aren't heard about in America. That would be really interesting to see. Maybe we should put a poll up on our LinkedIn, actually.
Yeah, let's do that.
If you're listening to this, react on the poll if it goes up. If not, leave a comment.
Yeah, let us know indeed what AI model is working right now. We're definitely looking into that. Which actually brings us to a final point is actually, so the AI infrastructure in cybersecurity is actually going up. How do you say not going up? Not being bettered as well. What's the right word for this?
Projected to reach
That's the right word.
85% globally by 2025. Basically just that AI is being completely integrated with cybersecurity. Bound to happen. And in my opinion, like it's just there's not even like a shadow of a doubt that this was going to be the next reality. There was also a 24% growth in ransomware vulnerabilities in 2024 compared to 2023, and data centers are evolving to process data at speeds of 400 or 800 gigabytes per second, or even above terabyte per second.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for me, it's kind of crazy to think that AI is going to be implemented into cybersecurity. But I do know about the ransomware vulnerabilities, or at least like AI being used to do more attacks on companies. So a contact of mine at Amazon, for example, told me that they went from like 100 million cyber attacks per year to 100 million cyber attacks per day. So they had to completely change how they do cybersecurity. Just to keep up with being able to protect their users' data.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like cybercrime is really accelerated exponentially by AI, like in so many different ways. Like for example, actually the other day, maybe I shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I noticed that I was like about to put my information into something. I was like doing something online. I think I was gonna like buy like a shirt or something. And I was about to like process like a payment and put information in. And then I realized that it was a fake website. AI generated fake website, completely fake website. It was a duplicate. And I only realized because it was literally intuition. I clicked the inspect tool. I read through the code, and then I was able to go on the actual website and then check it. It was like this perfect duplicate. It was definitely AI generated. And it's just like the scam to get people's money. Isn't that crazy? The only reason I even know about that isn't even because of like my AI market research, because I kind of work with regard to like products and companies, not necessarily like fully cybercrime. I know that because I did, not only did I do a class in my college regarding internet law, I met with the professor for coffee, and then is when I kind of got more like information about like fake websites and AI generated websites. I don't know if you remember, but way back in October, we discussed an AI generated website that advertised this Halloween parade in Dublin, and thousands of people appeared for this fake parade that was, circulated on this fake website. And I only kind of got like a better indication of what you should look out for in regard to discovering that it's a fake website in that chat with my professor. And less than a week later, I was on a fake website. So, cybercrime has really taken this kind of unique toll.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, yeah.
Isn't that a lot?
I don't know how to react to it, to be honest. It's super weird because compared to like 2 years ago, this wasn't like you could still spot what's a fake website, but indeed, like how do you know what's real and what's not?
Another thing is like I'm not like a mind, well, not that anybody is like a mindless or like ignorant consumer, but like I'm meant to be like, well, I am, working in this field, and these websites are so good. Like if I was barely able to catch it and I caught it mainly with intuition and not just like observational like ability, I can't imagine what like my grandma, would like. How do you kind of avoid that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest, for me, what I'm doing right now is I'm just always checking if it's like on Bol.com or Amazon or something as well on a third-party site. Like that's more of the platforms that I trust right now when it comes to when I buy products, because I know that like if it doesn't arrive or it's not what it's supposed to be, you can just send it back and you get your money back.
But what I'm talking about actually goes deeper than that. What I'm talking about is like a duplicate website of Amazon. So like you search up Amazon and you click on the first result from Google and you think that it's Amazon, but it's actually a duplicate website. And then you put in your information, you click submit, you pay or whatever. And then these people who have generated fake website then have your information. And there's been like some like legal contentious, sort of things with Google, because Google will sponsor, people will pay to have fake websites sponsored so that they're the first search result and people click on it. And, Google's kind of liable for that because they're promoting and endorsing like a false website that's entrapping people. It's really interesting stuff. Stay vigilant.
We
Watch out for fake websites. They're everywhere.
Yeah, make sure indeed to check twice what you're indeed putting in. Check your code. So that's also
Yeah,
good
check your code.
motivation now for all listeners. Start learning
Know
code.
that, and you know what? Know that you can sue. Know that you can sue the intermediary, Google, if a fake website is being sponsored.
Yeah, because they took your money.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm not trying to make it funny. I know we're trying to be serious here.
no, but yeah, no, it's very complicated and like emerging nuanced stuff with regard to all those like different cybercrime and like AI enabled sort of situations.
Yeah, no, exactly. Anyways, what we discussed is actually, so we did discuss now Google's innovations, besides so that you can apparently sue them. AI-driven IT consolidation, AI in news media taking up the racket, Google's AI mode for search that they're improving with AI, and AI infrastructure is taking hold in cybersecurity. So it was really awesome for us to talk about this. So I hope you guys are all up to date now with the news. And then we will see you guys here again next week with more AI news because it's always a drama. It's always fun. So stay AI amazing and see you next week. Bye.